Dr. James Boyes is Professor of International Politics at the American International University in London. James Landale, our political correspondent there, talking about the range of issues that are on the agenda here. If you were thinking in terms of President Bush's key priorities for these last few months in office, taking him through to January, what do you think is going to be foremost in his mind?
Well, I think his main priority is to make sure that the international focus stays on Iraq and maintaining the troop levels that are there at the present level. You'll hear the Prime Minister talking about a potential alteration in troop levels in Afghanistan, for example, this afternoon. I believe Des Brown's making a statement. But also trying to shift the focus away from just trying to sort of regime change and towards one of sort of redemption and presenting himself as some sort of a pioneering figure, talking about delivering people from the forces of evil, I think, in these sort of very black and white language that he's used. Trying to shift the focus away also from a failing economy towards legacy issues effectively, and talking about international communities, closer ties between Britain, America and also Europe. Cynics of course would say this is a little bit too little too late, but there we go.
But it's interesting, isn't it, this idea of his legacy. When we look at this from the point of view of the American people back home, how interested are they in these kind of tours of Europe that US presidents do? I mean, is it important for them to see that Bush has support in European countries, or are they more focused on the home front?
Well, of course, I mean, as Tip O'Neill, the Speaker of the House, once rightly said, all politics is local, but the role of the American president is to act as the premier statesman for the United States. So he's seen travelling the world on Air Force One. It makes for great campaign images back home. This, of course, is a president who no longer needs to campaign for re-election, but this idea of sending a strong signal of the American president, if not beloved, then at least welcomed abroad, just send a strong signal back to his constituencies back in the United States.
And in the meantime, while Bush is touring Europe, back home in the States, there's the election campaign underway. We're down to McCain and Obama. When we look at that from Brown's point of view, we tend to think he's going to be looking for Obama to be his man.
One would imagine so, naturally. However, we do need to be careful of not trying to get too close to a candidate. One might think of 1992, for example, when John Major was accused of being far too close to George Bush Sr. and actually going out of his way to assist the Bush campaign in trying to find dirt on Bill Clinton. This, of course, is a lesson I think the Brown camp will be eager to avoid falling into.
OK, Dr. James Boyes, thanks very much.
Cheers.